What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna be cooking butternut squash pasta. As you can see, I got my parchment paper. We're gonna cut up some butternut squash, and then we're gonna lay some avocado oil over top of it and add our seasonings. We're just gonna add some Himalayan salt and some thyme. Then we're gonna pop that in the oven for 45 minutes at 450. Then we're gonna continue with the rest of the sauce. So I'll grab another pan, lay some avocado oil in there. Then I'm gonna drop in some cherry tomatoes. We usually use cherry tomatoes or plum tomatoes, either or. And we're gonna let that cook down a little bit. Then after that, we're gonna add some fresh basil, let that cook down a little bit as well. Then we're gonna go in with our staple ingredients. We're gonna add some oregano in the pan. I always like to use oregano inside of our pastas. That's just a staple ingredient. After we add the oregano, we're gonna add some sea salt. We're gonna add some onion powder. And you really can't go wrong with these, seasons. Onion powder, sea salt, oregano, and basil is, man, it's unbeatable. You feel what I'm saying? After this is done cooking down, this is actually going to go inside of the sauce with the butternut squash. We're going to set this to the side, and then we're going to start, preparing, our noodles, right? So after I'm done with this clip, we're going to drop in some noodles in the pot. As you can see, I got the green lentil rotino noodles, and you can get these directly at Whole Foods, and you just want to cook this down until it's soft, and then we're going to continue with the rest. So as you can see, I got the butternut squash. It's very tender and nice. And then what I'm going to do is add all of my ingredients into this cup. I got the butternut squash. I got coconut milk in there. You want to add a good amount of coconut milk inside there. And then you just want to add some more seasoning. As you can see, I'm adding some more onion powder. And I'm adding, I added those tomatoes in there as well. Don't forget to add tomatoes. And then you can start blending, right? So blend it all up until you get this desired, texture. I like to keep it like between thick and a little lean. And I just keep it like that. And then I continue with the rest of the ingredients, right? So here we go. We got the beach mushrooms. I typically use, beach mushrooms, baby bella mushrooms inside of our pastas. And as you can see, I go in with the onion powder, the cayenne, the sea salt, the Himalayan salt. I put some fresh cilantro in there, some more oregano. And, I want to make sure I'm really seasoning these mushrooms really well because, mushrooms carry a lot of liquid. So you want to make sure you really get a good amount of flavor in there so that water doesn't dilute it, right? And as you see, I put the pan on medium heat, and I really want to cook these mushrooms down a lot. And like I said, mushrooms carry a lot of, moisture. So you want to try to like get as much moisture out of the pan as possible. I like to put a pan over top of the mushrooms to help with that. And once it's done, you want to get it to like a crispy looking desired, texture. For example, you want like my mushrooms, I get them like this. And once they're done, I put that to the side. And then lastly, we're going to just combine everything into the pot. I started by putting a little bit more oil, and then I add my butternut squash. Right after I add my butternut squash, I lay everything down. I want to layer everything, break it all apart so I can, really, add all of my other ingredients in there. So I add some coconut milk. Coconut milk is really great for sweetness and creaminess. And it's just gonna help you loosen, that butternut squash up because butternut squash is really thick. You can actually use this as a cheese replacement. You can use it as mac and cheese, whatever type of cheese thing you want to use it for. Butternut squash is great for that. And then I also add some pasta water that we use from the noodles. And then I add a little bit more chickpea flour to thicken up a little bit. I felt like I put a little bit too much water in there. But you can make it to the desired texture that you like. But I add some more chickpea water in there. Chickpea flour, and then I stir that up really good. After I'm done stirring this up, I'm just gonna add the rest of my ingredients. So I'm gonna start to add my pasta in there. I'm gonna add my mushroom. I'm gonna stir that up. Then I'm gonna add my mushrooms in there. After I add my mushrooms in there, then I'm gonna mix that up a little bit more, and then I'm gonna taste it, see how it tastes. And at this point, I feel like I needed a little bit more seasoning, so I started adding more onion powder, added more cayenne, and I added more sea salt. And I feel like, this all I really needed, and it came out wonderful. It came out delicious. Everything we cook on this channel is going to be nutrition delicious. So here's the butternut squash recipe. Like, comment, share, and I'll see you in the next video.